Real estate's not always rainbows and unicorns. You better have a plan when you're buying or selling, or else you're going to get burned.
Welcome to the show that takes up no more than 5 minutes of your time, but could help you gain massive real estate knowledge. It's 5 Minutes in Real Estate with best-selling author Shane Willis.
All right, so welcome to this week's show. This week we actually are just going to start out with a little bit of a rant. It's some stuff that's quite frankly just kind of pissed me off that I feel like sharing, and I guess since it's my podcast, I can turn it into a rant if I want to. But I promise you'll find a little value out of this as well. I'm going to call a few people out. Some of the folks that I need to call out right now are marketers and even some of my co-workers in this business. Not necessarily in my shop, but co-workers in general, other real estate agents. I am sick and tired right now of us as a professional putting out to the public that real estate is always rainbows and unicorns. And it's all wonderful. And it's always going to go up. And it's never going to go down. And it's always just sipping tea. That's wrong. To be quite frank, it's a freaking lie. And I don't know why people keep doing this. Let me just give you an example of why I'm getting a little, if you haven't heard, in my voice, aggravated about this. I do a quarterly report for a particular area of town that I send some postcards to, and they know that they're going to get a quarterly update. And the update is going to show what happened over that last quarter in the housing area, in that area. So it's very segmented to this particular area. Well, when I pulled up third quarter, I know it's right at the end of third quarter. I always do it about 4 or 5 days before the end of the quarter so I can send it to the printer, have it there, and ready to go. And so they can have this valuable information going into the fourth quarter. So I pulled up the third quarter numbers. Third quarter numbers showed me that quarter over quarter, prices in this area went down 9%. That's a pretty big drop, actually. It shocked me. When I got handed the report, I actually took the guys back that did the research. I went, "Are you sure?" And I went through it and kind of double-checked them. It went down 9%. Now, I asked them to look up the annual numbers, and they were still up for the year. But the quarter over quarter went down. I went, okay. So I sent that off to the marketing team. Here's the quarterly report. Here's what we need to put on the postcard. You know, it went down. Here's the average sales, yada, yada, yada. I actually got a call back from the marketing team. Are you crazy? What do you mean, am I crazy? They were asking me why in the world I would send a postcard out asking people to list their property with me if I told them that prices were going down. Here's a big shocker. Ready? Because here's my reasoning behind it. Hold on now. This is revelation and revolutionary. It was because it was the truth. Did you get that? Did you write that down? It was because it was the truth. I am tired of our business and a lot of marketers in general thinking the public is so soft they can't handle the truth. Just tell me the truth. That's all I want to know. Let me make up my own mind. Guess what? The quarterly stock reports come out. And is every quarter, every stock going to have a good quarter? No. Is real estate any different? No. Are we going to have bad quarters? Yeah. I can point to why those numbers were down. And when someone calls and asks, I can show them why they were down. But the point is, they were down. But my marketing team, I have a team of people around the country that help with marketing. They were coming at me going, listen, I know I've looked at these numbers and I see the numbers, and we can take the average sales price, but the mean sales price this year, and we actually show a 0.2% growth, but it's going up. Why? Well, because we need to show that it's going up all the time. Wasn't that the problem in 2006? It kept going up all the time? Are we that shallow to where we can't even hear the truth now? I'm not going to, yes, is that a way to manipulate the statistics to get a result that I'm looking for? Sure. rainbows and unicorns. That's not what I'm here to do. Because my clients now know that when I have that tough conversation with them going, your $425,000 house is not worth $525,000. And let me show you why. They know I'm going to tell you the truth. That marketing that's going out knows the clients that know me, and even the clients that just get my mailers. I promise you, I'm probably the only realtor out there that's actually going to send this out. It says real estate is going down. I know that's going to raise some eyebrows. What do you mean it's going down? Everybody else is saying it's going up. That's because they're either lying or manipulating the statistics, which is lying by omission, not necessarily commission. But it's lying nonetheless. And frankly, it pisses me off. We need to stop that as an industry. You as a public need to understand, is real estate always going to go up? No. You're going to have down quarters. You're going to have down years. You need to buy it properly. As you're looking at your home, you need to make decisions properly. Is this, we're going to live here for 3 years while we're stationed here at Pensacola Naval Air Station, and then we're going to turn around and sell it? Or we're going to live here for 3 years while we're stationed here at Pensacola Naval Air Station, we're going to turn around and rent it. Okay, that planning needs to happen when you're buying. It's that lack of planning because of all the rainbows and unicorns. Everything's always going to go up. Real estate will always go up. Shut up. No, it won't. You need to take your checkbook out, and you need to take your planning book out, and you need to hire a professional that is not going to show you unicorns and rainbows, but going to show you a true business plan when it comes to real estate. That's what you need to do. And again, I'm sorry about being very upset or getting loud on this particular podcast, but like I said, it's just pissing me off. Now, I want to give you a little bit of extra value on this. Today, as I'm sitting here recording this, it's September 26, 2016. I noticed that the stock market opened up with a 150-point drop. And I knew that housing numbers were coming out in about an hour. So, of course, I waited to see if it was housing that was driving that. It wasn't. Housing new builds, which was the number that came out this morning, was actually about 7,000 new builds more, new starts, new permits, than what the street was expecting. So, honestly, the drop today was probably more the concerns about tonight's first presidential debate. We don't know who's going to win, so we can't figure out which side we're going to go yet. So, it was just a pullback and everybody just positioning, jockeying for position. It doesn't really have anything to do with the housing market today. Now, the Feds last week, I did a couple of Instagram videos. If you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you do. It's Shane Willis 10. I did a couple of Instagram videos last week that talked about why the Feds are probably going to raise rates. I honestly was shocked they did not raise them this quarter. And I know one of the Fed members put out a whole dissension of why he thought it was a mistake they didn't raise them this quarter, but they didn't. So we can sit here and debate, and trust me, you can turn on the television and there's talking heads everywhere. But that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to help you plan to act and react to what the market is doing. Right now, they did not raise rates, which means you have about another 90 days as a seller to capitalize on low rates for your buyers to come in and they can afford a little bit more of a house. And as a buyer, you can afford a slightly better, a slightly bigger, a little bit more of what you want because your rates are low. As those rates start to rise, you as a buyer, your buying power will go down. And as a seller, you're going to feel that. Prices will start to drop a little or stagnate off. Again, throughout the year, this year versus last, yes, we're still up. But why in the world do I have to lie to you and say quarter to quarter by manipulating statistics that your property is worth just a little bit more? No, it dropped a little bit for the quarter. So we need to plan accordingly. Thanks for listening, guys. I know I went a little over the 5 minutes, but I had to get that off my chest. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next week.